Hey, look at
baby
Booby.
Jesus.
Hello. Thank you, baby Jesus, for the always delicious Taco Bell. I'm like, what? I like to picture my Jesus with a tuxedo t-shirt on. Like, he's here like, I'm here for business, but I like to party.
It's one of
Who
my
doesn't?
favorite lines.
It's so good.
Oh, God, it's so good. Oh, but Rich, what's not good right now?
What? You talking about Nick Castellanos going, what,
Uh,
5 for 36 in his past
Is
7 games?
listen, it's
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
such a good movie. That's a actually, you know what? That's a go back and watch movie.
Oh,
That's a stick and click, and it's so fun because you can turn it on at any point during the movie and literally just watch it from wherever, and it's still funny.
I like when the ghost, he calls Ricky and Cal's living in his house. He's like, man, I think your house is haunted. And you hear, get out. Like the wind or the ghost, I was dying. I'm like, I'm like, it just makes you laugh. Just something to make you chuckle. And that's what we need because the Phillies are and it's funny because it's not like they're a travesty, but they're such an incomplete bad team. Like, we're 8 games out from the Mets, and the Mets don't have DeGrom or Scherzer.
They don't even have the third. Who's the third pitcher in their? They've got 3 starting pitchers out, and they're still 8 games above the Phillies.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you look at this Phillies team, and Saturday night was a perfect example. You pay a guy who's an absolute moron, and Don, think if you know who I am, who makes a base running blunder and swings at a ball with a 2-0 count with a runner on, I think it was first and second, swings at a 2-0 count with a ball over his head, and then 3 consecutive strikes. Who am I talking about, and who is the moron?
Oh, is the moron Odubel Herrera? Yes,
because that guy has the baseball IQ of one of my potted plants that I'm staring at right now. That guy has no clue how to play baseball. It is mind-boggling that you've been in the majors for so long and been on a major league roster and had a starting position and you can't even execute the fundamentals. It is a travesty in itself that he can even call himself an MLB player.
That to me was the laziest move of any offseason move that they made.
It's such a turd ball move.
Just not investing any kind of research or talent. Like, you got analytics people coming out the wazoo,
which is absolutely stupid. Analytics are stupid. If you're trying to tell me, and Don, we're going to get into this because this is great because we had this awesome conversation after the show, and I wanted to save it for now on the reasons why I can't stand watching baseball as a whole. Because of the analytics portion, and me and you played baseball at a collegiate level. I played baseball at the high school level, and in some leagues when I shouldn't even have been in these leagues because they were full of fucking studs, but I held my own. Held my own. And I was like 15 playing with 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I was decent back in the day. Didn't really make it that far. But hey, not many people do or have the accolades of you playing for a college team. But this is my problem with baseball now. The analytics portion of you saying that a strikeout is better than, let's say, hitting behind the runner and advancing him to third is fucking stupid. Or it's all about launch angles and how hard you hit the ball. When a Texas leaguer or a little bloop shot into right that can advance a runner or that gets you on base for that time. But no. We care about how hard you hit the ball. We don't even look at strikeouts. We look at – it just boggles my mind. And it's the same thing with pitching. Alvarado is not a pitcher. He is a thrower. He throws 100 miles an hour, is inaccurate, and has mid to below average breaking stuff. And then you put his control issues in an aspect. That is not a pitcher. A pitcher in this league is Garrett Cole, is Scherzer, is DeGrom. And yes, I'm naming 3 of the best pitchers.
A guy that'll just literally just dice and slice, go anywhere up and down in the zone.
That's pitching. It's methodical. It's not throwing. It's a guy who, Zach Greinke, can throw an 87-mile-an-hour fastball and then on the next pitch come back and throw an 87-mile-an-hour changeup. Right. That's pitching. It's not about speed. It's about keeping the hitters off balance. Everyone in the major leagues can hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball when it's coming right down the pike. But can somebody hit a two-seam fastball when it's coming in on your hands? Can somebody hit a slider that sweeps through the zone? Or how about an 0-2 changeup that breaks away from the hitter and down to the zone? That's what you need to look for. This whole, we got this big lefty who throws 100 and he played 2 years of college ball and was dominant. Awesome. But he also had an ERA of like 6. He walked 50 guys that season and he has zero control. But he has the build. It's like the same thing that the NFL pushes with the stupid fucking quarterback. Oh, he's 6'6". He's got the potential. But then the guy flakes out because he's not smart. You have to play the game for what it's worth. The Phillies don't hit and run. They don't bunt. They don't execute the little things properly. But they would decide we're going to load our lineup with home run hitters. If they strike out a ton, it's fine because they're not hitting weak balls in play that can cause double plays or some other shit. But what do we know what happens, Don? When you make contact and put the ball in play, what does the other team have to do?
Well, they've got to do 3 things, right? They've got to field the ball.
Yep.
They've got to throw the ball.
Yep.
And someone's got to catch the ball.
Yep.
Right? And you saw a prime example of that on Sunday evening. At the end of that game against the Dodgers, you got guys in scoring position, and you got Bone that put the ball in play. And the guy playing second base for the Dodgers muffs the play. 2 guys end up scoring, which is a prime example of exactly what you're talking about, which
make the other team make plays.
You will never, ever convince me that a strikeout is better than putting the ball in play, ever.
It's not. It's not.
But Rich, but the analytics part of it say swing out of your ass until you make contact.
But the analytics,
you have enough exit velo and a great launch angle to get, like, you can miss me with all that shit.
Yeah, because we play baseball. We understand. We understand the concept of when you play at a high level or you play with any level. Let's just say any level. I tell my guys in slow pitch softball, Don, hit the ball on the ground. Do not put the ball in the air. Make these guys make plays. Mm-hmm. And what happens when you hit the ball on the ground? Exactly what you need to do. You need to field it cleanly. You got to make a good throw. And then somebody has to catch it. One of those things goes wrong, you got a guy on base. I have zero understanding for the analytical bullshit that everybody tries to force, saying you can strike out 100 times if you hit 40 home runs. Okay, it's a 182-game season. You hit 20 home runs, strike out 260 times. You're batting now 216. Does that make you a successful baseball player playing out a big contract? That is my question to you, Don. Because analytics would say, well, look how many outs you didn't produce due to your strikeouts, saying you didn't put the ball in play and hit into a double play. You look at that bullshit. But who knows if it's even guaranteed? Yes, these are major leaguers, but who knows that every single one of these plays or every single one of those strikeouts wouldn't result in an error or result in maybe just a base hit? I don't know, Don. And that's the thing that pisses me off. There is no such thing as a strikeout is better than putting the ball in play.
And that's the part for me that I just can't wrap my head around. Is that how do you look at this game? There is value in statistics, but then there's also the game, and watch the game and see a guy that's like, you remember that opening day, I want to say it was 17 or 18.
Okay.
So Kapler is managing at the time.
Yes.
And Nola they take Nola out with
after like 60 pitches, right? Something is
like less than 70 pitches.
Yeah.
Right, because the statistical data shows that the third time through the lineup, it's fucking opening day at that point.
Yeah.
Like he's got the whole season to burn.
And pitchers have the advantage earlier in the season.
Like, and to me, Rich, I think that the Phillies front office put themselves in a position this offseason. They didn't have a choice but to go get Schwarber and Castellanos.
Yeah, they needed them.
Because
I'm not mad at them. I like them as players, but I'm just saying.
But, Rich, they fucked this season up with the last 8 seasons of draft.
They fucked this season up since 2009, 2010, 2011.
The fact that your farm system isn't producing what it can.
The fact that Roman Quinn still makes a major league roster is astounding and shows you the state of your farm systems.
Right. When your farm system has gotten to the point where you get like you're getting Adam Hazley, you're getting Roman Quinn, you're getting Cornelius Randolph, who can't sniff the major leagues. You're getting Mickey Moniak, who showed promise in spring training, but hasn't, through no fault of his own, through injury, right? But hasn't produced on the major league level. You have gotten almost zero production out of your farm system to the point where you had no clue or no choice but to be in this position where you had to go out and just get as many bats as you could, because it was legit your only chance.
It's your only option at that point
to be mildly relevant.
And they're not doing anything to build back that, that farm system. So that's even more astounding. You're not doing anything. Okay, you're drafting. Great. It's a baseball draft. You hit on 0 of those guys every 4 years. And then 1 year you hit on a guy. And then it's another 4 years. And then you trade prospects. And then you hope one of these guys that you traded for maybe figures it out with your organization. It's just the bullshit of, you sold me something, we know it's not true, but then you're tying in analytics, which I hate saying this, but when people say, hey, numbers don't lie. Yes, numbers don't lie, but they can be manipulated. You can manipulate the numbers into your favor. I can say this guy's terrible, and then you can show me some bullshit stats. You can throw up WAR, and it's like, well, without him, our team WAR is -17, but with him, it's +17. But the guy's hitting 198 with 6 home runs, and it's like, well, you're not looking at his on base plus whatever percentage, and I'm like, you're diving so deep to prove a point and manipulating numbers that it, to me, doesn't even make sense.
Right, like Rich, in one sense, right? You can take that, you can spin the statistical stuff that says like, oh, well, the Phillies are 5th in the league in batting average, they're 8th in the league in runs, they're 7th in the league in home runs, they're 4th in the league in slugging percentage. But if I told you that, you would say, what? Okay, that's good to be in the top third of the league in all those statistics.
And I would say the team must be 26-19. And then you're going to tell me that the team is 20-22.
I'm going to tell you that the team has lost, they're 3-7 in their last 10.
But I would have figured they'd be 7-3 in their last 10 because of those numbers that you just told me.
Right. But
but how can they be so good, Don, but yet so bad?
I mean, but it's the consistency, right? That's where that conversation comes in, right?
Well, of course.
Because you look at that San Diego series, right? They get shut out, they shut them out, they get shut out. Like how in a 3-game series with a lineup that is all of those statistical categories that are in the top third of the league, how do you have in a 4-game stretch, Rich, between the 3 games against the Padres and the 1 against the Dodgers, they scored 4 runs. They were averaging 1 run a game.
Well, you know that, like, we knew this was going to happen because it's either they score a ton of runs or they get shut out. It's that lineup that you built. Everybody hits or no one hits because that's the lineup and that's the approach. And teams with good pitching can figure that out easy. Okay, well, I pitch this guy, pitch around this guy. But half of – yo, what's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Congrats on Baby Girl 3, even though I called you a pussy because you couldn't produce a boy. Just saying, it's you supply that chromosome, Mike. So stop drinking Mountain Dew. All right? And next time, keep your socks on. All right? All right? No, I'm just kidding, Mike. Proud of you, buddy. But seriously, like it just comes down to, like, we have zero plate discipline. You see it from Harper. You see it from Schwarber. You see it from Herrera. Like, the best eye on the team is Bohm. Like, even JT doesn't really have that good of an eye. And he's a catcher, which is kind of astounding. Like, you should understand the strike zone. Like, are you just getting mixed up? Are you just getting fooled?
That dude is on the struggle bus this year.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. And then you throw in Reese in the mix, and it's just like, oh, shit. Another guy with zero plate awareness. A guy who just has zero understanding of where the strike zone is. Hey, man.
Hey, Rich, listen.
Healthy is all you can ask for, bud.
What do we tell everybody when they come here?
Hey.
You're going to fuck around and find out.
You fuck around. You showed up. You fucked around. You found out. That's what happens when you come and visit Drunk on Broad.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's just one of those things, Don, where we're just going to sit here and we're going to dissect this team even further, and it's just not going to be good. Once teams get healthier, especially in the NL, once we start doing more interleague play, you're going to see who the top dogs are. The Phillies are going to eventually fall flat on their face because, let's be real, that if I have to see Alvarado again, and who's the other guy that fucking stinks in our bullpen? Every single time I see him go in, he gets lit up for like 4 or 5 fucking runs.
Hold on.
I have to look up his name because I can literally just go back to another game and be like, oh, yeah, that was the guy.
Oh, Familia.
No, not Familia. The other guy.
I
want to say it's JD Hammer, but it's not. Not Brogdon, not Familia. Let me go back to Sunday's game. Let's see if he pitched.
Brogdon?
No, not Brogdon.
Dominguez?
No, it's not. No, not Sir Anthony. No, I'm looking. Because every time he comes in, he gets shelled.
Brad Hand?
No, it's not Brad Hand. He's another guy. It's some dude who I've honestly never heard of before. Oh, Norwood.
Yeah, you're right.
Stinks.
Well, he's got
James Norwood. 1 win, 7.11 ERA. And it was up as high as May 5th at 10-9. So he actually lowered it 3 points, which I'm pretty proud of. But that guy is an absolute stink pot. And welcome to the Philly season in a whole. Don, let's get on to fun topics before I shoot.
Listen, we're going to do some fun stuff tonight. We're going to do our guide to summer.
Guide to summer.
So last night, Rich.
Yes, sir.
Dusted off the grill, cleaned it up, threw on some burgers and dogs. It was just nice to be outside.
Hell yeah.
Weather was cool.
Hell yeah.
Besides your traditional burgers and dogs, what's something you love to grill?
Something that I love to grill. So I am a big lamb guy. I do love me some lamb. So I'll get like I don't do the lamb chops because I like going cheaper. I like going cheaper than the lamb chops. But like just a little just the pieces of lamb with the bone. Like, I don't even know what to call them. Like chunks, I guess you want to say. So what I do is
the lollipop ones.
Nah, I don't do the chops. No. I don't do the chops. They're like thicker pieces. And to me, it's almost like I'm making a fillet because I love how I make my lamb. And it's, sorry, Prince, but it always has to be like medium rare. Like, I don't overcook my lamb because you overcook the lamb, it gets chewy, especially when you get like a like, I wouldn't even say it's not a good cut of lamb. Like, you can get like 4 of them in a pack and it's like $3.99. right? It's not like I'm not, because how I learned how to cook was when I worked at while I was corporate office. You know, my chef at the time. I'm not going to mention the first chef because he was a piece of shit. So I'll mention the second one, Tom, who's my boy. We always had to cook things on a budget, right? We were, you know, we fed a lot of people. It was typically either buffet style. We had an entree, something like that. And it was for a corporate office. So we were given a budget. Meals can't be over this price. So we had to do high-end things with cheaper cuts of whether it be meat or roast, like different shit. But it's all how you season it. So Tom would always teach me like, hey, man, you can do something fantastic with, you know, skirt steak. Okay, cool. We're going to do some skirt steak. It's cheap, dude. We get fucking mounds of it. It's all about marinating it and cooking it properly, the medium rare. Why? Because if you cook skirt steak or anything longer than that, it literally tastes like rubber. You'll be chewing on a tire. So you have to cook things properly to where it's tender, where it's seasoned well, and where it's flavorful. And that's what I do with the lamb. I go inside, get my curry, my cumin, I get my cilantro, a little lemon juice, some garlic, salt, pepper, boom. Throw a little smoked paprika. Dude, throw them on the grill, sear, turn it over, sear, pull it out, put it on the plate, let it cook itself for like a minute or two. Cut it off with a steak knife, eat it like butter, dude. And it turns that like $3 little meal that I enjoy like into something that I would get at a restaurant for like $50 if I wanted to.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have to go with my lamb. I love lamb or kebabs. Kebabs are it's just fun. Nothing like a good old kebab on the grill.
All right, so
pineapple. And
there's some telepathic stuff going on because kebabs is on my list.
Kebabs is
like it's the chicken, pepper, onion, the steak, pepper, onion, the shrimp, pepper, onion, the shrimp, steak, pepper. Like the kebab is it's a cool go-to because you can do it quick.
Yep.
And you can just kind of stand around and just pick on them all night.
Exactly.
But one kind of I love doing corn.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I grill my corn.
I love doing the corn on the grill.
Fucking right.
Sometimes we'll start them with some tin. We'll wrap them in tin foil with a bunch of butter, cook them, and then when they're ready, take them out, let them get all black on the outside.
Yep.
The corn.
That nice char.
Such a and then the flavor, like all that butter flavors, all baked in.
Hell yeah.
And then the little sprinkle of salt and pepper, and the combination of those two is just a really cool, simple go-to thing that I just love in the summer. And it's nice because it's a break from the burgers and dogs, and and the kids, the kids love the burgers and dogs. That's great. Oh, yeah. But sometimes it's great to have that the adult snack.
You have to up it. Yeah. You got to get some sweet corn. You do the same thing that you did, right? You get your white sweet corn, preferably Jersey sweet corn, because that's the best thing in the summertime. Go down to Stella's.
Shout out to T. Will, who was giving a shout out to all the Jersey stands, the fruit and vegetable stands in Jersey. Jersey's got that on lockdown.
Yeah, you need fruits, vegetables. Just drive down any Swedesboro,
any road in New Jersey.
You'll find it. I guarantee you'll find one. But what you have to do is, Don, you start cooking it the same way, right? All right, pull it off. You can either do more butter, or what I like to do is mayonnaise for the fat content. So you get the mayonnaise, right?
I'm not a mayo guy, but it's growing.
So here's the thing. Most of it's going to cook off, but you need it for I use it as basically the glue to the rest of my stuff. So get yourself a nice bowl of spices. Get yourself some paprika, some ground chili powder. Get yourself some fresh limes, some garlic. Use garlic salt, some salt, pepper. Dude, mix that up, right? Make yourself a nice little Mexican blend. Throw a little cumin in there. Sprinkle it on. Turn it. Sprinkle it on. Sprinkle it on. And as you're sprinkling, you're turning it. You're going to get that flame that kicks up because all that fat from the from the mayonnaise. Keep turning it. You pull it off. Sprinkle it again. Hit it with some fresh lime juice and drop some Koja cheese on it. And then you have Mexican street corn, bro.
Wow.
That's the shit, dude.
That's a game changer right there.
It is, because the Koja cheese is nice because it's light. It's got that salt content to it. Or the queso fresco. The queso fresco, dude, break that bad boy down. eat the shit out of that, dude. And you're going to be like, this is the best. Because I know my wife loves it. Like every time we go out, like, or she goes out with her mom, they go to a Mexican joint. Ollie gets the street corn. I could literally give this dude 8 pieces of corn. He's going to sit there and just eat it all. That's what he loves. But yes, you definitely need the corn. Chris, you're saying upside down pancakes instead of upside down cake. How the hell do you do that on a grill? Are you doing it on a griddle? Like a flat top?
Pineapples and cherries.
How the hell do you do that? Are you doing that on a grill? Because that's some like magician stuff. Like I'm not even mad, I'm impressed.
Yeah, if you can do
you got a recipe, send that over.
Right?
I love cooking other people's shit, man. So, give me a good recipe, I'll take it.
All right. Favorite adult summer beverage?
Man, there's just so many. But when it comes down to it, in the summertime, I'm a beer guy. Been trying to stay away from the alcohol, drinking my nannies. This is going to be a good one for the summer. But
what is it?
This one is called Elvis AF from Brewdog. It's a hoppy grapefruit alcohol-free beer. And then I have this one. It's called Deep Fake, non-alcoholic IPA from Flying Dog, which is phenomenal.
Okay.
What, dude? It tastes exactly like an IPA, like a fruity IPA, like a citrus one without the alcohol, which is nice. And I love the flavor of beer. Do I like getting drunk? No, but I love the crazy ass flavors. Because I hate the hangover and the shits the next day. Because let's be real, that's what happens. You drink craft beer, it's got the lactose, it's got the milk sugar. So and people are gonna watch this and be like, "Nah, dude, like finally somebody said it." That's why I'm getting the shits. Because it's loaded with a bunch of stuff that's gonna fuck your stomach up. And mind you, they're like 7-8%. You have 8 of them, you have a few cheeseburgers, you're shitting your brains out the next morning. It happens. Or Taco Bell. A lot of people go Taco Bell. I'm not mad at you, but you're going to have diarrhea. Follow my advice. Stay away from that shit. Or do it and then keep crying. You want shit 4 times after you woke up in the morning. It happens. Yeah. But, Don, back to your point. I'm sorry for the poop brand.
No. Listen. It's summer. You got to take care of the bowels too.
We do. You make sure you clean your bowels. All right? Eat your greens. Eat your leafy greens. Get your fiber in. You need it. You need it. But Natter Days are my choice. I love the Natural Light Natter Days, either the pineapple lemonade or the strawberry lemonade. It's cheap. They actually taste good, and for the summertime, they're like 4%, man. You sit out there, or if you like shandies, which I do in the summertime, Cape May, the Grove.
Cape May does
the Grove from Cape May is absolutely phenomenal. It's a citrus shandy. It is hands down the best for the summertime. Other than that, they're my go-tos for the summer. Because anything else, I'm gonna die drinking craft beer out in the sun.
No, so for me, like I'm right in that shandy family. So like anything shandy, especially in the summer, something super cold, right after after
doing Adam's Porch Rocker, Don, you ever had that one?
That's a good one.
That's a rattler. One. That's a rattler.
And that's a rattler, right? And then there's I was trying to look it up because I couldn't remember. All right. Stiegel. Have you ever had the Stiegel Rattler? It's Austrian.
Okay.
But it's like a grapefruit. But it's nice.
Anything is it the Schohofer one?
I don't think so. It's
because there's like a Schohofer one, and it's like 2.5%, and it's grapefruit. But they're good.
So this one's too. It's from Austria, but it's a grapefruit one, right? And it's the kind of thing where like you do yard work all day, and you can just crush like 3 or 4 of them right in a row and not even think about it because you just need to rehydrate.
Yeah, and they're only 2%, so they're not going to kill you.
Right. So like between
which I learned less is more in the summertime.
And I love the Leinenkugels, right? The summer shandy. They have a couple of
the grapefruit one's good
in their family. So the summer shandy is nice.
I like their berry ones. Their Berry Weiss is very good.
That's
one of
a
my
really good one.
It's just a nice, refreshing one. So a lot of people, do you remember when they first came out with the Sunset Wheat?
I do.
Because they don't have it anymore. That beer was one of my favorites because it tasted like Fruity Pebbles. And I miss it because I haven't seen it. Bring back the Fruity Pebble beer.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was good.
And the Boss Lady has been the wine list has been growing on me a little bit. I'm normally not a real big wine guy.
And that ends drunk on broad.
But Rich,
what do you got?
Okay, so Target is not our sponsor, but Target has a $5 bottle of wine.
California Roots Red Blend.
It's not the worst thing I've ever had.
But for $5, it'll get you drunk.
But for $5, it'll do the job.
Yeah.
So
then you're going to wake up with a mean hangover from all those sulfites and sugar, Don. And then you're going to be shitting your brains out tomorrow. And you're going to be like, go to listen to Rich.
But like we've got the backyard set up. We've got the Adirondack chairs all set up. We've got, so just hanging outside at night, just hanging out, right? And that leads me into our next favorite summer outdoor activity. I love the fire pit.
Yeah.
And the cornhole.
Don, you're with it. We put a TV up outside, have a fire, watch a movie.
That's game changer right there.
Yeah, I wanted it. I'm like, you know what? I need like a little thing. And I remember watching the games last year outside when Philly was still in it. My buddy would come over. My buddy Pat, shout out Patty Johnson. What up, Patty boy? We were watching the games just outside. Beautiful night, chilling. All the lights on. We added the fire pit last summer, so we do the fire, roasting the marshmallows, watching a kids movie with Ollie, doing like a bunch of stuff. Like it's good. It's great to be outside. I love when it's 75 degrees. We got the fire on. We got the movie playing. We got the music going. Yeah, I love that. And you can always catch me outside in the summertime. You can hit me up. Be like, yo, you want to play some can jam? Want to play some cornhole? Yeah. Or we go to my boy Mikey T's. Yo, shout out Mikey T. My boy, feel better. I don't know if he has COVID, but I know his wife did. So, Mike, he plays my softball team. He's my first baseman. It's my OG logo. Yeah, he's a great dude. We go to his house a lot and play Polish washers. So, but we just call them washers. But it would be known to the people who don't play it as Polish washers, where it's a raised setup. It's about this big off the ground. There's 3 holes. The first one is 1, then 2, then 3, but it's inside of a board. So it's kind of encased and there's carpet over the top. And you have to throw it a certain way to get it to like hit and stay on, or to get it to flip and go into the can. So it's a cancel game. So you throw 1. If I get 1 in the 1, cancels, I throw 2. In the 2, that's 4. Up, you get a 3. That means I only got 1. If you hit 1, 2, 3 with all 3 of your washers, the person has to chug. If you get all 3 in one slot, the person has to chug. If you don't get any on the board and the other person gets all of them on the board, then they get +1. So, it's a fun game. It's tough because, man, like a lot of people came over and like, I can play this. And no, like it takes a while to get used to, or you will suck really badly. It's tough. It's bouncy, but it's a great
game. That's cool. And like anytime you can like learn those new games, like those are fun. And anything you can add to your repertoire. Like a couple summers ago, my kids and I built like a cornhole set.
Nice.
Right. So, having that stuff in the backyard and just being able to just kind of take that stuff out when like on a night like tonight where it's nice out in the back, like you just go out and just hang out, right? That family time is just cool. And whenever you can do that stuff in-house, right, it's just you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about anybody doing anything. You can just kind of hang out and chill, right? That fire pit, those kind of outdoor summer activities. Now, Rich, while those outdoor activities are happening, what's on your summer playlist?
Oh, man. it's 311 radio, it's Dirty Heads radio, Sublime radio, 90s hip hop barbecue radio. There's just so much, man.
The 90s hip hop barbecue. Wow.
Yeah, dude, that's a good one. That is a very great list. My wife is very big on Pandora. I am not a Pandora guy. Why? Because I have Apple Music and I have my own stuff. And funny enough, my son went to my wife today, who picked him up from school, and said, "Mommy, I like your music. Your music's good. I don't like Daddy's music, and he plays it too loud." And then he came home and said, "My music stinks." And I said, "Well, good, because I don't like your music. I think your music stinks." Because he'll get into my car and I'm listening to like Slipknot or like pop or punk goes pop, like remixes or like old school like stuff. And I have it loud because if I want to listen to Slipknot, I'm listening to it loud. And he likes all the pop hits. He's literally my wife's mini-me when it comes to that stuff. Gotcha. Even though I did get him to headbang a little bit to Slipknot and some All That Remains. So I'm like, see, dude, it's not all that bad, bud.
No,
but it has to be.
There's a balance. There's a medium in between where you can find some common ground.
And it has to be for outside, like in the summertime, chill vibes, like all chill vibes, like 90s hip hop, like always like throw that shit on there. Throw on the Sublime, throw on the Dirty Heads, throw on 311, like that vibe music, like where it's not killing your ears. Like I can listen to Slipknot all day, but like when I'm sitting outside, like I tried to do it today when I was like cleaning the pool, I'm like, nah, this is car music. Like this isn't like I'm chilling. Yeah. Like no, I put on 311, you know, Creatures comes on. I'm just like, all right, I'll be here for a while. Comes on. I'm like, nah, this is like, cause it puts you in that mood where it's just like, you know what? The world slows down. It's moving. Like you feel like it's moving on your time and you're just enjoying it. Like you're enjoying the time. And that's what that music represents to me. It's just like, all right, you're in the moment. You're having a good time. Enjoy it because summer is one of those things we beg for. And then all of a sudden it's over and it fucking sucks every single.
Yeah. Listen, like in the summertime, it's a lot of jam band stuff for me. Like it's a lot of just stuff that we can just put on a speaker, just throw it on. Like the other day, like we're listening to, OAR, Hootie and the Blowfist, Dispatch, Counting Crows, Dave Matthews, Blues Traveler, Pearl Jam. Like it was just a really cool, just stuff to just chill out to.
90s all. You can't go wrong with that, dude.
That or like what you mentioned, like that 90s R&B where it kind of crosses over into some of the stuff that now my kids like, that stuff that's current now. It sounds like current stuff now, but it's not. And it's stuff that like, it's funny that like there are songs that'll come on that my wife and I will know, and we'll sing all the lyrics and they're looking at us like we got 10 heads. But it's cool now to start to have them at an age like at 11 and 14, be able to start to find some common ground on that part where it's just cool. So those summer, I hope people enjoy our guide to summer. Rich, Chris is asking your favorite 311 song.
That is hard because I saw these dudes like 15 times live. Like it was me and my dad. I've seen them live so many times. It's one of those things where my favorite song that they perform live is Applied Science. When they do the drum solo, I absolutely go bonkers for that shit. My personal favorite 311 song is I have to go Creatures or For a While. That's probably one of my favorite songs. When I first started listening to 311, Y100 was still big. And I remember that song was featured on Y100. And there was always Down. There was always All Mixed Up. Like they were always played. So you always hear Down, always hear All Mixed Up. You don't know what to do. Like all my shit. But then Creatures came out and I'm like, man, I fucking love this song. And then I started going back and buying like the Grassroots album, buying the From Chaos album, which was like kind of like their heavier album, but everybody knows Amber from it. And it's like, whoa, Amber is like Chrissy. Obviously, we all know that song. But like that's what like everybody kind of knew from that album. They never really listened to the whole album. And like when you go to a 311 show, they always like typically open with Jackpot, and like everybody's just going nuts. They play a lot of the stuff from Chaos, which is more like faster, more jumpy, not as like, yo, chill and like let's blaze up. But then like Beyond the Gray Sky comes on and everybody's just like chilling, lighters go up, smoke goes up. Yeah, who's got the herb? Like there's like if you get a chance to see 311 in concert, go for the experience because it's such a great time and the music is fantastic.
They've got a great undercover catalog of stuff. I mean, I love Santeria. Santeria is just one of those really cool, chill summer songs.
From Sublime.
From Sublime. It's one that I just really. It's kind of in that same like.
Oh yeah, the vibe.
Ish. The vibe is the same.
Yeah, no, Santeria is one of the. Yeah, that's a great song. If I have to go with my favorite Sublime song, Caress Me Down. Caress Me Down.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Love Caress Me Down.
Oh, Rich, anything else you want to talk about in terms of summer stuff before we pop out of here?
Favorite? So besides the whole staying at home, what is your favorite family activity to do in the summer? Besides like all the cornhole stuff, like what are you and your family like? Okay, if you're not at home doing this, like what would you and your family be doing? Like if you could do it all the time. And so let's go with that. Like something special for you guys.
I love the day trips to the beach.
Okay.
The day trips, so for me, we would do day trips to go to Brigantine. And door to door, it's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's not
so bad. Like there were times where like we would just get up and be like, we don't got anything to do. Let's go to the beach.
Yeah.
And we would like in the summer, right about now, in the back of the car is the beach bag, the beach chairs, because starting this weekend, we're either going, we go to a pool. So we're either going to the pool and dragging all that stuff there, or we're going down the shore to do a day trip or go down for a weekend or whatever. So that stuff is always in the car.
Yeah.
So that like impromptu day trip where like you're like, fuck it, let's just go. We had no plans to go, but we're just gonna go. That impromptu day trip is like, and 99.9% of the time, it's when you do those things, it's exactly what you need. You need the day to just like disconnect from everything, not do anything. When I first started working right out of college, I worked for the Atlantic City Surf. And one of my favorite things to do was just go eat lunch on the beach, right? Like the beach, I could walk. It was a 5-minute walk from the stadium. But just getting that break to just disconnect from everything, just go walk, like go walk down there, kick your shoes off, sit on the beach, eat lunch, come back. There's something there's something cathartic about the beach, and that connection with nature and the sounds, and really just gives you that ability to just kind of disconnect from everything.
Yeah. So no, I totally agree. Like I remember like, man, like my early 20s, like 18 to like 23, like it would just be whatever job I was where. I started WoW when I was 23. So it was probably when I was like delivering pieces and like shit like that. Like I'd have like a random day off, and like I would always text like my girlfriends, like at the time, be like, yo, like I mean girlfriends, like they were my friends. And I always have like the three of them who I'd be like Nicole, Christine, or what the fuck was the other girl's name? I'm not friends with her anymore. I forget. That'll come back to me. I really don't remember her name. But I'd hit like Christine up, like, yo, what are you doing tomorrow? And she'd be like, oh, none. I got work at like 3. I'm like, all right, dope. You want to go to the shore? And she'd be like, yeah. She's like, you or me drive? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, all right, I'll pick you up at 7. So she picked me up at 7 a.m. We would just drive down, give her gas money, sit there till like 12, Be like, all right, fuck it, we're done. And it was just like nice. Like we wouldn't even say anything. Like we would just go to the beach and like just sit there and like relax, like no words. Because we just needed that time to like be on the beach. And I'd be like, all right, hit me up next week if you got a day off. Or I'd be like, yo, Nicole, what are you doing? She's like, oh, nothing. I'm gonna head down to the beach. I'm like, all right, you want me to pick you up? She'd be like, yeah, pick me up tomorrow. 7 a.m., go pick her up. And again, we sit on the beach, talk for like 2 minutes, but then it was just like, nope. And we were just chilling. And now I hate the beach because that's what happens when you have kids and you have to fucking play in the sand. And I don't. Too many shark documentaries, Don. Just can't do it, bro. I can't do it.
Oh, listen, we'll have to do a special Shark Week edition.
I would love that. Go ahead, Don.
Top five sharks.
Top five sharks. Ooh, that's a good one.
There we go. All right, we're gonna have to. Listen, Rich. This ain't getting any better anytime soon. So
no, I'm gonna definitely
listen. You got our guide to the summer. Take that, and then
we're gonna keep doing that.
This is gonna be the summer of lists. We're gonna have some lists. We're gonna do some top fives.
I love
some fun stuff to keep it flowing until August rolls around and then training camp starts. And then
now I don't want the podcast to end for tonight, but now it has to because now I'm happy. See, Don, you trigger the endorphins with the happy stuff. That's what we got to do.
Listen, and that's why we're here. We're here to spread the love, kind of think about the things that bring us happiness and joy, because that's how you got to get through the day-to-day stuff.
Yes, sir.
How you can help us get through the day-to-day stuff is by clicking on and checking out our sponsors, La Terrain, Team Clicks, Shocked Energy. Rich, next week I'm going to be mailing you a sample this week. Next week on the air, we're gonna do on-air samples of some of their the Shocked Energy products, and then we got Streaker Sports, which has got all they got all the antique defunct leagues, teams, really cool movie gear stuff. So, and you can check all those things out by just going to the link tree over here, which is going to be over here looking at our gear and all the links to our sponsors. So if you go check out our stuff here, that's how you can support us. But we're going to check us out. And on that note, Rich, I don't know how the backgrounds changed. Things got all messed up.
That's all right.
I'm drunk. It's time to go.
Final thoughts, Don.
Final thoughts. Shit.
Jesus Christ, what's wrong?
Final thoughts. We always do final thoughts.
Yeah, stop drinking that $5 wine.
Damn it.
That Boone's Farm's going to your head. Strawberry Boone's Farm. So my final thought is my 1-year wedding anniversary is coming up on Saturday. So I would like to say, Jamie, I love you. Thank you for putting up with me. I know I'm fucking annoying most of the time. Thank you, Dom. Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
When I mean most of the time, I mean all the time. You may have to correct me all the time and my grammar and my English, but there's nobody in this world that I'd rather go through everything with. You are a wonderful person. You're a great woman. You're a fantastic mother, and I am extremely lucky to have you, and I love you with all my heart. You're the best. My wife is a saint, Don, because she puts up with me. My energy that you get for 50 minutes, she gets 24/7. Except she doesn't find me funny most of the time, Don. So I do appreciate you too. But babe, I love you. Thank you, Chris. James, I love you. You are literally the best mom and wife a man could ask for.
Yep.
Let's keep it rolling. And our anniversary will be great. I promise. Don, after you. I had to get that out. I'm like, Don, I swear to fucking God, if you ruin my final thought, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Damn it. I should have gone first because we should have ended the shit with that. That was great. Listen, on the back end of that, Rich, this will be in September. Lacey and I met. You know what? We're just gonna keep a theme. Shout out to my wife, who tolerates all my bullshit and dumb shit and stupid decisions and still loves me anyway.
That's why men die faster than women, because we make stupid fucking decisions.
On June 5th, it'll be 20 years since we met.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
So She's put up with me for 2 decades.
That's insane.
That's nuts. Anybody who had decided to spend 2 decades every day with me and all the mistakes and dumb shit and stupid shit that I do, and the ladies in our life are saints. So shout out to them. No other words possible.
That's it. You stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. We are Drunk on Broad. That's Don. I'm Rich. Watch us on Tiki Live.
Tiki Live.
Join us. Join us next week.
Sounds good. Peace out.